You probably think you're being cursed, but having bad genetics is actually an unfair advantage in life as a young guy. And I only realized this recently when I was walking around the shops and I saw a guy from high school. A guy who used to be a fucking Chad. He used to get all the attention from girls. He used to have a good physique. He used to be sporty as fuck. But he literally was fucking fat, chubby, and ugly as fuck, walking around with some chopped ass fucking girl. When I saw this guy, I kind of just giggled in my head and remembered what it used to be like for me when I was in school and he was there and there were other guys. There was always those motherfuckers that had the six packs in the sports changing rooms. They didn't even do anything. They ate like shit and they had all these bad habits, but they had six packs and they had lean aesthetic physiques and they'd get all the attention. Everything was going good for them, right? By the way, that's my type 1 diabetes fucking alarm going off. So this just proves about my bad genetics and shows that I know what I'm fucking talking about, right? So anyway, I digress. I used to kind of get pissed off and I used to be jealous of them, thinking, why the fuck can't I be like that? But now I realize that I'm actually grateful for the fact I started in a shit position. I had skinny as fuck arms. I'm type 1 diabetic, which you just fucking heard my alarm going off, right? So, and I had no social confidence. I didn't have a good friend, like a solid friend group. I had all the odds basically stacked against me, right? But this was fucking good for me because I started going to the gym. And now that I've built a physique I'm getting happier with, what I notice is these guys that had the seemingly good genetics at the start and were doing fine, well, they're not in the gym. I don't see them. And a lot of them never even got into the gym in the first place. And to be honest, a lot of them look like shit now. And when I think about it, I realize it's because of a few key points. And the first key point is about momentum. Life as a guy is a race. We are competing whether you like it or not, right? And I want you to picture this. Picture you're in a race right now. It's a car race. And you get spawned in to an absolutely shit box fucking car. Like the car I used to drive when I fucking first got my license. Fucking, it was breaking down all the time. Basically, it hardly ran. Dad was always fixing it up. Versus the guy who gets spawned into a fucking Lamborghini, right? A really good car. This is basically the guy that starts with good genetics and then you, the guy with fucking shit genetics. Well, you're racing, right? And we have to realize that life is a long-term race. It's not just like 200 meters. If it was 200 meters, you're fucking gone. But when you put it in the lens and frame it in a way that means you're actually on a long-term race, a race to the finish line, a race to being 30 and fucking stable and fit and everything like that, then you realize that while it may take you some time to get through the gears, you're going super slow at the start of this race, right? You're fucking getting absolutely smoked by this guy, right? But what happens is, as you progress through the gears, you're building momentum, you start getting faster and faster and faster. And what happens is, the guy that was spawned into the good car, the guy with the good genetics at the start, well, he's looked back a few times at the very start of the race and seen that he's absolutely fucking smoked you. So what's he do? He takes his foot off the accelerator. He idles. He goes at the same speed thinking that he can just win because he already has the advantage. But you're a fucking underdog. You're a fucking outlier. You have shit genetics, but you have to work for it. And as you go through the gears and get faster and faster and faster, eventually you're reaching top speed and you have so much momentum that you just fucking overtake him. And he's left in the dust. And in most cases, like I said, when these guys fall off, that's when you can truly win. And it takes some time, and that's what I've learnt myself. It takes time to see the results. Because I had to work so hard just to get to the base level. I started 10 levels below what they started at. And just to fucking get to where they were at their starting position, I had to do 2 years of work. But now I'm already on that track. I'm already on that momentum system where I'm just going to keep going up and up and up. And that's exactly what's happening. Something beautiful happens when you start with shit genetics, and it's that you have to work hard and then you don't get complacent. Because you realize you were in such a shit position, you would never want to be there ever again. So the sky is the limit for you. The moon is the limit. The stars are the limit. There's unlimited capacity for you because you had to work so hard just to get to a place of normality. So now you want to work even harder to get even beyond that. Again, that's my diabetes thing, shit genetics, by the way. But the second point is that you will be so much more grateful for having bad genetics when you actually build the physique, when you actually build some kind of success or some kind of momentum. You'll be far more grateful than the guys who just got it straight away. It's like when you had to save up money. Like I had to save up money for my first car, right? The first car that I bought. But there's motherfuckers out there who just get given like a $50,000 car just as a fucking birthday present. Like the guy, like if you're someone who has to save and has to work and has to actually have a journey, it builds your character and it builds discipline, but it also builds gratitude. And you actually kind of just become a better person. The only caveat to this is you have to do the work, right? And if you do want to know how to do the work and go from being an underdog to someone who is confident, who's someone who can overcome their shitty genetics just like I did, then check the link in the description for my school community. I'm confident it will help you because I employed the tactics within it in my own life and it fucking worked. So just remember that whilst you might have shit genetics right now, whilst you might think you're getting left behind, if you actually can muster up the courage to put in the work, when you actually gain the fulfillment from doing the work and making progress, you'll notice that you skyrocket past all the other people who just got granted or given or were blessed to have good genetics to begin with, because you've developed hard work and because you've built momentum. Remember, bad genetics are a good thing after all.